I want to talk about something that is very controversial or even frowned upon, or a voodoo, if you will, which is suicide. I have attempted suicide 6 times. 6 times I have not been successful. I have stabbed myself multiple times. I've tried hanging myself, motor vehicle accident, drug overdose. I have made a handful of attempts, all of which were not successful by any means. So what does that tell me? I'm not very good at fucking trying to kill myself. One thing I see a lot in the comments section from people is that suicide is selfish or cowardly, if you will. So I want to give a different perspective or view at this. So let's pull yourself out of that situation or that mindset that anyone who would attempt suicide is a coward, anyone who would attempt suicide is selfish. In my experience, and this is just speaking on my behalf, the times that led me up to attempting suicide, I had reached out. I had exhausted almost every resource that I had readily available, whether it was a friend, or so I had thought. I had reached out, I had attempted to talk to people, I even have gone to therapy a handful of times, and all of which did not really help me find the answers that I needed. At all. Like, not even a fucking little bit. In a really fucked up way, when you are in a low, a suicidal low, if you will, and you have, in your opinion or your experience at that point in time, exhausted every resource that you have readily available. You have reached out, you have tried, you've cried to people, and at some point, it feels like there's no more options left. There's nothing else to do. And you come to the term that, you know what, I'm done. I am fucking done. In the most fucked up way, it is one of the most liberating feelings to know that you're letting go. And not letting go in the sense of you wanting to give up on life. Because in my experience and looking back at it and looking at how my brain was working and how I was processing things or how things were just registering in my head, I don't think I wanted to kill myself. And I don't think that's the case with most people that are in that situation. It's not that you don't want to be a part of life. It's you want this and this, the pain, the heartache, the emotional upset that you're going through, all of these feelings, you just want them to stop. You just want all that pain and all that hurt and all that trauma just to stop. You want, in your own way, a little bit of normality in your life. And it's so hard to explain to people who may have not experienced it or been in that situation or in that exact predicament, let's say. But when you are able to finally pull yourself out of the equation and look at it from a very different perspective, I understand to a lot of people it is selfish. I understand the ripple effect, and I understand how much of an impact it has, because I've lost 2 of my best friends, not necessarily intentionally trying to kill themselves, but to addiction, and that shit fucked me up. Which is a very different topic, a very different subject altogether. I fucking get it. I can see where that that thought becomes, or where that thought stems from. Suicide, or the movement towards taking yourself away or out of the picture from everyone, it is a hurtful thing because it's in a ripple effect. It is a ripple effect. What I'm trying to get at with this is, don't look at people who struggle with mental health or addiction in a bad light. And I'm not saying anyone does, and I'm hoping nobody does. At the end of the day, whatever underlying trauma that person is going through, whatever shit they are working through, just know that I strongly believe that people who have suicidal ideation or fixation, if you will, right? This is years of reinforced trauma, beliefs, and thoughts that were never really reassured or corrected in any way, and now you are finally taking those steps to make it better and move into a positive direction. You're talking just like years of addiction. You have years of piss poor mental health and reinforcement of positivity, which is not there. You have years and years of negativity and self-doubt and no reassurance in your life, because that is what your normal is. So for me, just to reiterate it, and to speak on many others' behalf, it's not that people want to kill themselves. They just want this and this to turn off. They want that normality. They want to feel okay. And it's really hard to understand, but when you are so fucking low and there is literally no other option, you feel, and you have exhausted everything, there's something that just lifts that entire weight off your chest when you come to that low of being like, I am done. All those feelings, all that hurt, all that guilt you have carried around for so long disappears and it goes away. Now, I'm not trying to say go down that route and fucking feel like you're liberating yourself. There are other options. As fucking boring and white bread as it sounds, what I'm doing right now is therapeutic. It's helping by just simply sitting here and talking about it. In my opinion, and then I'm not a fucking doctor, I haven't gone to school for anything, I don't have a lot of credentials, I have life experience. And the things I've experienced and gone through have helped me realize that this right here has helped a lot more in the last few years than drinking, whether it was alcohol, cocaine, fucking whatever I was going through at the time. That just numbed and stripped me of many things. What I want to get at is try not to slap that on people that they're cowards or that they're selfish. Look at it from a different view, right? You're already talking about someone who's in a fucking low and who already runs themselves into the ground and feels like shit, and maybe in some way has reinforced this mindset that they are shit and they aren't worthy of things. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. If you liked this, if you have questions or comments or concerns, maybe things you would like to hear me further talk about, leave a comment. I'm pretty fucking open about everything. I don't give a shit. And if you like my content, share it, like it, comment on it, give me a follow, or tell me to go fuck myself.